a discussion of the difference between Scrum and Agile. So first up, the agenda here, we're going to look at the two related but distinct ideas of Agile and Scrum, and then we will look at the difference, or the differences. So first, let's talk about Agile. Now, Agile is a methodology that's a philosophy, an approach, if you will, that's mostly geared towards software development and project management, with emphasis on flexibility, collaboration, customer centricity, and the ability to adapt to changing requirements and priorities. Now, Agile is based on 4 core values and 12 principles. Now, I won't get into the details of those in this discussion. If you want to hear more about those, I'll put a link in the description to the Agile Manifesto where you can read all of the details about that. But at its core, the Agile Manifesto basically states that we care more about delivering business value to the end customer and responding to changing requirements than we do about what more traditional project management methodologies might have been concerned with: long horizon planning and rigid and structured requirements documents and things of that nature. So Agile is, again, a philosophy and an approach built on values and principles. It's framework agnostic, and it focuses on an iterative and incremental approach to software development. Now, Scrum, on the other hand, is more of a specific framework that's generally worked with within Agile. The Agile methodology does implement quite a few of the Scrum ceremonies and other concepts. So Scrum defines the roles that should be on your Scrum team. Roles like the developer, the tester, the business analyst, and so on, as well as the Scrum Master and the product owner. But in addition to defining those roles, Scrum also defines the artifacts or the items that you will create during your Scrum project. These are things like the product backlog items, your user stories, your epics, your features, things like that. And also your acceptance criteria, your delivery team tasks, and other items that you'll create on your Agile journey. See how I'm mixing those two things in again. So Scrum defines all of these things that you will create, that you will do, and who will do them. And Agile is the methodology in which you do those things. So Scrum is the things and the ceremonies, the events, the things that the meetings that you'll do, the things like the sprint planning meeting, the daily stand-up. These are Scrum events or Scrum ceremonies. Also, the sprint retrospective and the sprint review at the end of the sprint. These are events or ceremonies that are defined by Scrum and adopted and implemented as part of our Agile methodology. But Scrum is what defines these things. So what's the difference? Well, as I mentioned, first, Agile is a broader set of principles and values that emphasize adaptability, they emphasize customer collaboration, and Agile is framework agnostic. So it allows for the implementation of things like the Scrum framework or Kanban or Lean, extreme programming. These are all specific frameworks that we can work with within our framework agnostic methodology that is Agile. Now, Scrum, as I mentioned, is a specific framework that we can operate within Agile. It's a more prescriptive approach, and it defines those roles, those artifacts, and those ceremonies. Now, as far as Scrum is concerned, you can do what you will with these roles, artifacts, and ceremonies that are defined. You can work with them within whatever methodology that you want. You can mix and match them with other things like Kanban. As we saw earlier, we might mix Kanban and Scrum within our Agile methodology to optimize our software delivery process. Anyway, I hope this helps clear up the differences between Scrum and Agile and how they are both different, but also kind of the same, or exactly the same, only different, as I like to say. With that, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this discussion, and I will see you in the next video. My name is Antoine Victor, and this is Pro Data Man Trains.